Today, two very personal birthday cakes.
We've been commissioned by Jackie to make a sports car cake for her husband's 70th birthday.
It's for a lady called Heather. She wants to celebrate with a massive cake themed around New York.
And a special sponge that literally lights up the room.
I've decided to make an illuminated swan lantern cake. That's the element that is going to be challenging.
"216 miles south in Somerset. Former film set stylist turned cake maker Zoe Burmester is about to tackle her first cake as an extreme cake maker. Specialising in adding unexpected twists to her creations, her latest commission will be no different.
I've been asked to make a cake for a community day that's happening in Wales. They're also having a lantern parade in the evening, so the cake is to mark the celebration and the parade.
This new event, organised by Kirsty and Emma, aims to bring family and friends together for an action-packed day full of activities.
We thought, what better way than to finish with a cake?
Yeah, and something to reflect the community spirit and the spirit of the lantern parade, really. They're coming to see lanterns, but there's going to be a cake.
Yeah.
And that cake's going to be spectacular, so no pressure, Zoe.
I've decided to make an illuminated swan lantern cake. The swan is kind of the unofficial symbol of Wales. They are just part of the Wales community, so it's a really obvious thing to do.
Zoe's swan lantern cake will be sculpted from a 64-egg chocolate fudge cake, sandwiched with salted caramel buttercream. Covered in sugar paste and modelling chocolate and decorated with hand-painted wafer paper wings, her trickiest job will be hiding LED lights behind the paper to make the cake light up.
It's got to look like a lantern, otherwise it's just going to look like a swan with fairy lights around its neck. That's the element that is going to be challenging.
But before she can start the tricky illuminations, Zoe must bake the last of her 6 16-inch sponges.
You can smell both the chocolate and the vanilla. Yum.
And after placing it in the oven for an hour and 10 minutes, it's on to the filling.
Caramel and chocolate is a match made in heaven, as far as I'm concerned.
Once the sponges have cooled, she begins layering them up.
I'm creating a whole bunch of sort of edible sandwich blocks, and it just makes it much easier when I come to carve. I don't have soft bits of cake or squidgy buttercream going everywhere.
After leaving them to chill overnight, Zoe can start stacking the cakes onto her non-edible swan skeleton and begin accurately carving the bird to shape.
I've cut this template, basically, so I know what I'm aiming for in terms of size.
Body done, it's on to the swan's delicate neck, which she's moulding from rice cereal and marshmallow mix.
This is gonna, hopefully, stay put.
But only once it's covered in ganache and set can Zoe try to turn this solid swan cake into a lantern filled with light. In Somerset, new extreme cake maker Zoe Burmester has finished ganaching her swan lantern cake, commissioned for a community fun day, and is starting on the detail.
Now, I just need to roll humongous amounts of sugar paste out so that I can get this swan covered.
And once this huge bird is fully wrapped, Zoe can begin hand sculpting the swan's all-important features.
I'm not overly concerned about it being hyper-realistic. However, I still want to get the lovely form of that tilted head and the beak. It's very plain at the moment, so I've actually got all the work to do.
And the most crucial part is the complex wing decoration Zoe hopes will transform this swan into an illuminated lantern.
I want to make them out of wafer paper, but they're going to need some structure. So I thought if I wire a frame, I can then attach my wafer paper to it, and then I can put the lights behind that to give the impression of the lit-up wings. I'm not loving the fairy lights at the moment, I have to be honest with you. I haven't quite fathomed it yet. It's just driving me a little bit potty at the minute.
So, while Zoe ponders the fate of her fairy lights, she begins adding colour to her fragile wafer paper wings. But with the lantern parade now just a day away, there's still lots to do.
I've only got 2 wings, a collar, a tiara, some painting, and just figure out my light configuration, and yeah, that's it. It's going to be a long night, I think.
In Somerset, Zoe's been working around the clock decorating her Swan lantern cake to celebrate the end of a community fun day in Wells.
Quite a late night last night, just fighting actually with the lights and the wings. I originally thought I was going to put the lights between the cake and the wafer paper decorations, and I realised actually that if I make the wafer paper accessories double skinned, that I could then put the lights in between.
But that's easier said than done.
Just is the most ridiculously delicate, fiddly job.
So after some perseverance, the lights are in, the wings are on, and this one can finally take flight. On arrival, it's placed onto a bespoke 5-foot-tall metal stand to mirror the real lantern poles in the parade.
I've never been underneath my cake before. This is a first for me.
Weighing in at 25 kilos, Zoe's Swan lantern cake lights up the room. Sculpted from 6 huge chocolate fudge cakes with a rice cereal and marshmallow neck and head, it's been covered in sugar paste and finished off with hand-painted, wired wafer paper wings. Skillfully hidden LED lights complete the illusion, turning this elegant swan into a glowing lantern. Time to show event organisers Kirsty and Emma.
Wow!
God, it doesn't look like a cake, does it?
It's a lantern swan!
It's absolutely gorgeous. I really love that it lights up. It just is mind-blowing.
Just
It
so
stands for
fitting.
everything that is Wells,
Yeah.
and swans in particular.
What a wonderful way to end the day. Really fitting.
So, after a successful parade of over 100 lanterns, there's one more for the community to see.
When we came in, I thought it was another lantern. It just didn't look like a cake at all. Yeah, it's a shame to cut it.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, wow, it's lovely.
The cake was really nice. It was really chocolatey and really moist. It was lovely.
It tasted awesome. It was absolutely magnificent.
It was a challenging cake for me, very different from what I usually do. Would I do it again? Yes, definitely. What a lovely evening and a lovely event. I'm so really happy.